Hello everyone. I thought I would take this time to make a video. I just got back into model railroading a little over a year ago now. That's when I started this layout here that you see. It's a 4 by, the main section is pretty much 4 by 8. It's actually 4 by 11 with this little piece out to the side, which is 2 feet. But I got discouraged with the fact that I only used 18-inch radius curves, and I'm pretty limited on what I can do and what I can run with it. So I decided to make this whole room pretty much a train room. So I started this layout this year. That's a 13 feet by 8 feet layout with an open center. I haven't been able to really come up with a track plan yet, but I pretty much know what I want in it. I just got to figure out, like I said, a track plan. Still working on that, but that's the gist of it right there. This, like I said, I more or less used this kind of as a trial and error thing on a lot of things that I've done. I've learned some things I liked, some things I didn't like that I did. So we'll go from there. I haven't decided whether I'm going to tie this one in with the other one or what I'm going to do with this one yet, but I don't know. That's down the road. So that's as far as the layouts are going. I also thought I would update you on some locomotives that I bought over the holiday and added to my collection. Right here, I know the lighting's kind of bad over on this side. I have just two Bachmann SD40-2s, Norfolk Southern. This one right here was just an analog version, and I bought a NCE Bach DSL decoder board and put white LEDs in it with it. It is actually a very smooth runner. I'm not going to take the time to run it right at the moment. I know you'll probably give me some flack for that, but it's pretty smooth actually. I'm impressed. This one here came DCC ready. I did swap out the yellow LEDs for bright white ones, as you can see, and both of them still have the fire in the cab syndrome, but I didn't feel like going through the hassle of fixing that at the moment, especially on these ones. I clipped the capacitors around the motor, which I believe that's what they're called, and it actually helped out with the smoothness of the running, but I'm still not impressed with it, so I'll probably swap out the decoder for another one eventually. This is a Spectrum CSX-840CW. All I did with that, it came DCC ready, so all I did was just swapped in an 8-pin plug Spectrum decoder. It's a fairly smooth runner, but it seems like it takes a lot of power to get it going. I might have to mess with some of the CVs or whatnot. And I picked up these two. I'm not really modeling Union Pacific, but I thought this was a pretty cool engine, so I thought I'd get a model of it because I think they're pretty cool. And right now I picked up the Bachmann one with sound, mainly because the Athearn one's roughly 400, give or take 100, depending on where you might find it, and I really didn't have the money for that, so make do with this one for now. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, there's three things that I find that's not very, I don't know, prototypical. You got I don't know if you can see it, the big gap in the front by the coupler. I don't care for that. I don't know, you probably can't see in this one, but you can see some gears sticking up on top of the trucks underneath. And the walkway is not see-through. You can see the motor and stuff in there. It's not actually open all the way through. But other than that, I mean, for the money, you get what you pay for. I picked it up for a good price. That's why I bought it. So we can fire that up and let you hear it. I like the sound of the dual prime movers starting up individually. I think that's pretty cool. It's a Tsunami decoder installed, factory installed. Has limited features from the ones that you install yourself, but it does enough. It's like I said, it sounds pretty good. That's your headlight. Function 6 number boards. Depending on the angle you look at it, sometimes they look burnt out. One of them looks burnt out or whatnot, but if you look straight on, you can see that they're both lit. Of course, you got your bell, function 1. Long horn, function 2. Short horn, function 3. Function 4 is your dynamic brake fan. I don't know if you can hear that. Function 5 is the rotary beacon. It's got a pretty cool look to it. Actually looks like it's kind of strobing, unlike just an on-off LED. Function 7 dims your lights, and it is directional lighting. The rear lights also light up depending on what direction you go. If you're in reverse, the reverse lights are on bright and the front one's dim, vice versa. They don't completely go out. As far as running it, I mean, it's a smooth runner. Like I said, I've only been able to use it on the straight track here, but here's speed step 1. As you can see, it starts right away. Moves very smooth, nice and slow. That's speed step 1. I can't wait till I get my other layout up so I can actually do some running with it. I can hear my dog in the background, I think. But other than that, I think it's a pretty nice locomotive. Let's move this out of the way for now. These sounds always get my dog going. Okay, function 8 is mute. Let's mute that for now. Move over to this one. Alright, this is my CSX Athearn Genesis SD70M. I installed a MRC 1621 sound decoder. Turned out pretty good. Let me start that up for you here. I actually, even though it's a cheaper decoder and the MRC is known for not having very quality things, I think the sound turned out pretty good. Yeah, I picked up this decoder for I think $46. I did not use the speaker that came with it, but you pick up another speaker for $5 to $10 a piece. So for that price, I mean, this decoder was definitely well worth it. I haven't really had any issues with it. I think it sounds pretty good. Speed step 1, I didn't have to adjust any CVs for that. Nice, well, except for a little bit of dirty track. That was not the decoder, that's just my track. So I like that. Still has the generic, some of the generic horns though for it. Flashing ditch lights. There's the bell. The ditch lights there, they flash, or yeah, flash with the horn. Like I said, there's the bell, headlight. There's directional lighting. In reverse. See there. I'm not going to go through all the functions and everything. It's pretty much standard. You can find that on your own. But it's got relatively good sound, good smooth control. The only issue I had when I was installing the decoder is figuring out which ohm resistors to use, because the instructions call for 1000 watt or 1000 ohm resistors for the headlights and ditch lights. Well, I found that was too extreme. But for some reason I could not use the same ohm resistor in all the lights. I'm not sure why. The front headlights have a 750 ohm resistor. I'm sorry, front headlights have a 470 ohm resistor. The rear lights have a 470 ohm resistor, but I had to wire it in series. If I didn't wire it in series, they were so dim they didn't look like they were on, which is how I burnt out the rear lights once. I had to replace them with Miniatronics 1.2mm lights because I didn't think they were lighting up. So I tried to test them out without a resistor and they fried instantly. But like I said, if I had the resistor wired up like you normally would do it, for some reason they were very, very dim. So I had to figure out I had to wire it up in series, which so far has worked out good for the rear lights. They pretty much match the same brightness as the front. The ditch lights, I have a 750 ohm resistor on each ditch light. And they all come out pretty much, the same brightness. I'm still, like I said, I'm not sure why I had to use such different ohm resistors on different lights and why I had to wire up the rear light differently than the rest of them as far as the resistor. I don't know if it's the decoder itself or it's just, I honestly don't know, but it took a lot of trial and error and burning out my rear lights and replacing them till I figured out which ones I needed. I hope I don't have to go through that again. But anyways, I'm running out of time, so that's it for now. Maybe I'll make more videos in the future, as long as I don't get too many negative feedback comments. Alright, I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.